Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk about feeling emotions. This is something I've got a lot of personal experience with, so and what I say in this video, I'm not just parroting what I've heard from Divine Truth, but rather talking from my own experience. So yeah, I first came across Divine Truth back in 2017 or 2016. I noticed it slightly, but it was really 2017 I first started following Divine Truth. And by that point I had some limited experience in feeling my emotions from what I knew from the New Age movement, which I was interested in before that. But yeah, it really it was something I really took on board and quickly started trying to feel some of my emotions, getting God's help in the process as well. And soon I saw that it was something that worked in helping me overcome various problems I faced in my life, and that kind of built my faith that feeling emotions was the way to go. So yeah, I guess if you're watching this, what I would like to encourage you to do is that if you already have faith that feeling emotions is the way to go and it solves problems, then that's great. I encourage you to keep going down that track. But many people don't yet have faith that that works. So in that case, I would suggest trying to have just a little bit of faith that it might work. Enough faith that you're willing to try an experiment of identifying a problem in your life, trying to feel what emotion is behind that, and just to feel that emotion. So that's an experiment you can try, and if you try it sincerely, then you'll find that it does work, and that problem will be dissipate, or at least be reduced, depending on how much of the emotion you feel, and that can start to build your faith in the fact that being emotional is a powerful place to be, and feeling emotions does result in more happiness and less pain and suffering in the long run. So I really value the faith that I've managed to gain over these years in the emotional process. I feel this faith is like gold dust. It's a very valuable thing to have. So yeah, once again, I encourage anyone who's listening to try and develop their faith that feeling emotions is a good thing. Now, to finish off this video, I thought I would read out from a list of some of the problems that have been affecting my life over the past years, that have now been solved, or at least reduced significantly due to my approach of feeling my emotions and feeling the various emotions behind each problem, has led that problem to go away, or at least attenuate a lot. So I've listed only 7 problems, which is still quite a few problems, but this is not the complete list of the problems I've dealt with. That would be a much longer list, including things I probably don't even remember that I just dealt with a few years ago and never looked back really. So yeah, for me there's been so many positive changes that have come through this process, beyond just the 7 that I'm about to read out. So yeah, here goes. So one problem I used to have was that I would be addicted to computer games. I don't really have that problem anymore. It's pretty much gone. That doesn't mean I'll never play a computer game. I feel that it can be in harmony with love to play computer games. It's just that most people use computer games as an escape from their daily life. So that's why it can become a problem. I remember that back when I was a teenager, and in the few years before I came across Divine Truth, I was quite disconnected from my body. So I had lots of feelings of just like my body or certain parts of my body not really belonging to me. So I felt the emotions of that, and now I feel much more connected. Binge eating. Yeah, this is something I've been dealing with a bit more recently, that sometimes I would just, if there was some sweets or something, I'd just go through the whole bunch without much thought. But now I take a more measured approach, not because I'm forcing myself, just because I feel like I get to the point where I think, nah, I've had enough now, when instead of only feeling like I've had enough when I've had way too much. Depression, now that's a big one. I had depression back in summer 2018, and what I chose to do when that happened was I was doing a PhD at the time, and I chose to take some time off for my PhD just so I could have more time to focus on my emotions rather than having to worry about all my PhD work, and which I wasn't managing to get much done anyway because of the depression. But yeah, what depression can be like seem like quite a big problem, and there's various people who talk about how to overcome depression. But from my own experience, I managed to overcome it without using any antidepressants at the time. All I did was connected to my emotions and had a cry about how sad I felt. I was crying for about 3 months, more or less. But after those 3 months, I no longer had depression and I felt better. Not wanting to do housework. Yeah, this is a problem with laziness or expecting other people to do work for me. But I've felt some emotions around that, and now that's been improved. I actually feel like I want to do housework when it's time to do it. I had this period where I was sleeping too little, and I found that was often driven by a fear. So once I felt the fear, my sleep returned back to normal. And then more recently I had the opposite problem of too much sleepiness. Like I was sleeping in 11 hours a day, and even during the day I would still feel sleepy and tired, sometimes needing to take a nap. But over the past few days that seems to have gone away as well. I felt some emotions, some of them were to do with powerlessness, that seemed to be feeding into that problem. So yeah, that's just a brief list of some of the problems that I have overcome by feeling my emotions, and I hope it inspires you to try the experiment. Yeah, obviously I could make a longer list, but I didn't feel like making a great big long video where I go through every single one, especially since I don't remember them all anyway. But yeah, I would just like to close by saying that feel that as well as being willing to feel the emotions, a useful thing is to try to connect to God in the process, because that's often what I try and do, and I feel that does help. I still don't have as solid an understanding of God's help in the process as I do with just feeling emotions. Sort of, I guess I don't really understand where the things I'm doing end and the things that God's doing begins. But I guess by working together with God, the whole process goes more quickly and more pleasantly than otherwise. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. So yeah, thank you for listening to my video, and I'll see you around.